Hi, superheroes! I'm Pink Phoenix, coming to you from Purdue University College of Veterinary Medicine's League of VetaHumanz. I'll be your host on VetaHumanz Live today as I follow up on the journey of my co-host, VetaHuman in Training, Victory Knight. Thanks for being on the show as a guest, Victory Knight.
Of course, thank you for having me.
All right, we're getting close to the end. What week is it?
If I'm not mistaken, we're like in the 15th week.
Wow.
So we're in our last week of new information lectures, and the next week is final weeks. So we're there. We have 6 more exams left.
The first vet school finals.
Yep.
All right, so what's it been like since our last talk?
I mean, it's been pretty good. We did have our winter break, which was really nice. But before we did leave on winter break, we did have a lot of exams. We had our OSCE, we had our ANI final. So we did have a lot of big exams that kind of was important to pass. If not, that kind of helped determine a bit. So those were all done. And we did get breaks. So it was really nice to get a break from everything, kind of just disconnect. So that was really good.
Yeah. So tell me about your break. What'd you do?
Yeah. So I'm from Florida, so it's a little hard to travel, and it doesn't make sense if I'm going to be there 2 weeks later. So I just rather save the money and kind of save the traveling time. So I stayed home. My roommate, she stayed home too. So we kind of did Friendsgiving with a few of our friends before everybody left. And then we just stayed home. I did catch up on a little bit of homework, but I didn't go crazy. And then we went to, just in downtown. So it was literally a Hallmark movie. Is how we felt. We don't see snow and stuff, so it was so nice to see snow. It was literally in the movie. There was ice skating. There was a whole bunch of, it was just so cute, so many cute lights and stuff. So we did get to do that. I went to Indianapolis, so I got to do stuff. I went to a few stores that they don't have here, near Purdue. So it was really nice. I went to Trader Joe's. I went to Ross, the Ross store with the clothes. So it's really nice to kind of do something new for a bit. And yeah, so it was snowing, so it was really, really nice.
And do something fun, right?
Yeah.
Just for you. All right. Have the clubs been active? Anything new on your club scene that you can share?
Yeah, I mean, they've had a lot of opportunities, but with all these exams coming up, I really haven't done a lot of wet labs and stuff, but we did have a lot of lunch and learns. Today was a lunch and learn with Zoetis. It's just kind of talking about the misconceptions with beef and dairy cows. So we did do that. So a lot of lunch and learns, but a lot of the other really fun stuff are sometimes in the way of or the day before a big exam and stuff. So I just rather make sure I study a bit more. But kind of the wet labs have kind of come to a little stop a little bit for now. But lunch and learns are continuously going. So that's good.
Well, that's good. You get food and you learn something. Mm-hmm. So on that note, last time you set the goal that we hope is still the goal to pass all of your classes. That's a very good goal to have. And your process was to stay on top of your studies and prioritize what classes were the most important to study for, which is really hard to do when you're first year, right? You don't know what is important yet. But that was the goal. So I'm interested to hear what process you put in place to help yourself prioritize.
Yeah, so specifically on the break too, I was just kind of making sure I was kind of sticking up keeping up with my notes, so that this week and next week I kind of just focus on studying the notes instead of trying to make the material and then study it. I rather have the material and then just spend time studying it. So I was kind of doing that. I have narrowed down a few of my I have maybe 3 main tests. Either I'm borderline a nice grade that I just want a little higher, or so I am avoiding histology. I'm not a fan of histology.
Confessions.
I know I have to, and it's on my top priority. I just need to get to it. I have been avoiding it, but I will make sure I study it. So I've kind of have been prioritizing, but I have been avoiding histology. But I still have time.
But that's good, and now you have a goal for the next 3 weeks. So what's been your biggest challenge over the past month since we spoke last, and how are you overcoming that?
I think right now, this past month is kind of just making sure I stayed consistent with my studying, which I've been pretty good about. But now with finals is kind of making sure that I don't I give myself enough grace, but also making sure I'm keeping up with all my stuff. It's just so much because we're still learning new material for the finals that are next week, and just kind of making sure we're keeping up with the new material, but also studying the old material. So I think right now that's my challenge, is kind of realizing there's like 20 something PowerPoints per class, and there's like, so it's a lot. So I think that's my challenge right now, is just kind of like making sure I study everything for the
So,
exams.
how are you doing that, right? It's the impossible task. So, how are you changing your study strategies from normal during the semester to, whoa, finals week is coming and I have to review and learn new things. So what are you doing differently?
Yeah, so right now I'm just prioritizing making sure my notes are like the new material I'm doing is I'm keeping up with those notes. And then since I was working on my learning objectives, I did throughout all like my tests. Instead of going through all the lectures, I'm going through the learning objectives, and they're a lot more like condensed than all the big PowerPoints. So I'm kind of going through all that and making sure I learn the new material, because those are like materials they haven't tested yet, which I know they're going to test along with the comprehensive. So kind of just going through learning objectives and knowing what I don't know and making sure I study that so I know that for the test.
I love that strategy. So what have you enjoyed most this past month? Is it the break?
Yeah. Honestly, I got to sleep in. I was just like, if I wasn't feeling it, I just wasn't like, I wasn't hard on myself. I was like, okay, I have like several hours later throughout the day, or I'll have tomorrow. So definitely the break. I just got to like relax. We've like baked a whole bunch of food. So like I got to cook, I got to relax. Yeah.
What'd you bake?
Well, for Friendsgiving, we had like a whole feast. Me and my roommate made our first turkey ever.
Ooh.
So we got a recipe off TikTok. So we made the turkey. We made mac and cheese. We had banana pudding. Our other friends like made ham, mashed potatoes. She made like chicken sliders. We had so much food.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So, I usually ask you, what's the coolest thing you learned? But this time I'm going to put a twist on it to give you motivation. What's the coolest thing you learned in histology since we spoke last?
Actually, we've been learning about like the horns and like the like claws of like animals, which is really nice because like for example, like small animals, you easily just cut like dogs' nails and you don't even like you just trim them. You don't even like think about it. So that's really interesting. We just started that. We actually have like the lab for that tomorrow, which was really nice. And I think it's a bit more like easier to understand just because it's so relative and you like seeing like pretty slides and you're just like, where is this from? So this one's actually pretty cool. So I'm actually excited about this topic. Yeah, I guess learning about like the horns, the antlers, the claws and stuff of like animals.
Yeah, that's always fun. Okay, in general, is there something that tops that?
In general, I really in anatomy we're doing like the skull and like the dental part of like which is really cool because my old clinic they were really big on like dentistry. So like, and I obviously would just like watch them. I'll watch them do the X-rays and like the extraction stuff. But it's really cool to like know like the background and knowing like the numbering of like the teeth and everything. And like, so I really like that. So far that's like really interesting and it's like calming down like from like more of the memorization of like all the veins, arteries. Like this is a bit more like as long as you have an idea, like it's not crazy. Like it's more relevant. So it's a little bit easier to like understand and stuff. So I really like that so far.
I like that. How about labs? Any good labs lately?
We've kind of took a halt on anatomy lab. I'm trying to think what lab we did. Honestly, VSAC has taken a halt too. We finished VSAC, so not anything too crazy right now for labs. It's kind of
What was your favorite VSAC procedure that you got to learn?
Equine jugulars. Like I've always done small animals, so like I thought it was like because like we didn't get to practice on like real like we just practiced like on models, but we got to like occlude like an actual jugular and stuff, and it's like so cool like how big the vein is compared to like
it's huge.
You're like, oh wow, that's a big difference. So it's really nice and just great. It's just like so different from like small animal, like yeah. So I really did like doing that. So I'm just interested in like actually using that in real life. So yeah, really, that was good.
Excellent. All right, personal care. Are you sleeping, eating healthy, and how are you going to maintain that during finals?
Yes, so I got to sleep in for this break. I still sleep pretty good. I still make sure I kind of go to sleep between 10:30 and 11. I have started the gym again because that forces me like, yeah, because that was like one of my like goals and I had like stopped and I'm restarting that because like when I wake up and I like go to the gym and I come back to shower, I like have a lot more energy. At night though, I'm like more I have like less energy at night, but it's okay. So I feel like it's a good way to get my day started. I guess so that's good. And then eating, I'm still doing meal prepping. I'm just trying to get rid of like my food in the refrigerator, just so that when I go on break, it's not just sitting there going to waste. So I'm just kind of just meal prepping stuff that I have just kind of lingering around. So nothing too exotic.
I love it. Well, we talked about what you did for yourself over the break. So what is your goal for the next few weeks?
My goal is to kind of finish strong with the semester. Like, I know everyone's kind of like slowly getting burnt out. I myself am like crawling to the finish line. So definitely finishing strong and definitely like planning for like my next like winter break and kind of like summer. Because you think it's like far away. It's definitely not. Like, everything's already like, you gotta start thinking now because everything's like ticking clockwise. So kind of just making sure I'm setting myself up for like a good summer and kind of being able to get hands-on experience. That's like also my goal. I've been working on like different applications and stuff to see what kind of works out for the summer.
Excellent. What are you thinking about over break? What are you gonna do?
So I definitely want to do like small animal like internships. A lot of like the bigger companies offer a lot of good scholarships. I mean, not scholarship, like internship opportunities, like Banfield, VCA, like emergencies and stuff. So I'm kind of looking to those companies because I didn't have like, I left like a big corporate clinic, so it's kind of hard to they're like so it's easier to do like a company that offers like the DVM internships and stuff. So that's what I'm looking into.
Nice. Okay, biggest win.
Passing my OSCE. We got our scores back. Yeah, it was not too bad. It was just more nerve-wracking, the whole procedure. Like, it's timed, like they're watching you, like you have to make sure you read everything right. So that was definitely nerve-wracking, but it was really good. So I was happy about that. So
Congratulations. That is awesome. Now you've got all the skills you need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
All those hands on. Anything else you want to share with our audience? Words of inspiration?
Honestly, I would just say it's crazy to see how far you've come. Like, like when you're like an undergrad or like high school, you're just like, wow, like my dream is to get into vet school, and you're actually here, like, wow, you're living the life, you're living your dream, and you're also living like other people's dreams. So you just amaze yourself how far you get, and it's just the beginning. So just keep that in mind.
I absolutely love that. And that's a great way to end the episode. Thank you so much for being on the show and for hosting the show. For our listeners and audience, you can learn about other League of VetaHumanz superheroes at VetaHumanz.org. And if you liked this episode, and I know that you did, please subscribe, rate, and share it with your friends. And remember, use your powers for good.